Not all coins are what they seem. Some were spent without a second thought, yet they're worth thousands, even millions today, hidden in drawers, jars, and pockets, are pieces of history waiting to be discovered. At Rare Coins, we uncover the real value, the truth behind the hype, and the coins collectors would do anything to own. Welcome to Rare Coins. Real value, real history, no hype. They say this is one of the rarest state quarters ever made, and the internet is flooded with claims that it's worth a fortune. But here's the truth. Most of what you've heard is exaggerated. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 2004 Wisconsin state quarter, specifically the mysterious extra leaf varieties that have driven collectors wild for nearly 2 decades. Let's start with the basics. The Wisconsin state quarter was released in 2004 as part of the U.S. Mint's popular 50 State Quarters program. It honored Wisconsin's farming heritage with a design featuring a cow, a wheel of cheese, and a husk of corn. Simple enough, right? But somewhere along the production line at the Denver Mint, something unusual happened, something that would spark one of the biggest state quarter hunts in U.S. coin history. We're talking about the extra leaf low and extra leaf high varieties. On these rare quarters, an additional leaf appears near the bottom of the corn stalk. On the low variety, the leaf points downward, almost touching the cheese. On the high variety, the leaf points upward, toward the top of the corn. This wasn't part of the original design. In fact, the extra leaf was the result of a die gouge, a physical alteration to the coin's die that left a raised mark on every quarter it struck. So how did this happen? Some speculate it was a deliberate act by a Mint employee, while others believe it was purely accidental. Either way, only coins struck with those altered dies have the extra leaf, and all of them came from the Denver Mint, which means you'll never find an authentic extra leaf variety with a P mint mark. Here's where it gets interesting. These quarters entered circulation in limited numbers, mostly in the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Word spread fast among collectors, and people began checking every Wisconsin quarter they could get their hands on. Grocery store clerks, cashiers, and even kids with piggy banks were all on the hunt. Now let's address the hype. You've probably seen headlines screaming that these coins are worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. While it's true that some examples in pristine, uncirculated condition have fetched impressive prices at auction, the vast majority you'll find in circulation are worth far less. Condition, grading, and whether the coin has been handled make a huge difference in value. A heavily circulated extra leaf quarter might only be worth a modest premium, while a flawless example in a top-grade slab could be worth much more. The problem is, misinformation spreads faster than the facts. Videos, posts, and clickbait articles keep fueling the myth that any Wisconsin quarter with an extra leaf automatically makes you rich overnight. But the truth is more nuanced, and as collectors, we need to separate the hype from reality. If you're hunting for one of these, here's what you need to know. Look for the Denver D mint mark. Examine the corn stalk closely. The extra leaf will be obvious once you know what to look for. Be cautious of fakes. Some people have tried carving extra leaves into normal coins to trick buyers. Always verify authenticity before making a purchase. One thing's for sure. The 2004 Wisconsin extra leaf quarters have earned their place in modern coin history. Whether you find one in pocket change or add one to your collection through a trusted dealer, it's a fascinating reminder that even in the age of machine precision, unexpected variations can slip through and become collector legends. At Rare Coins, we believe in cutting through the myths and bringing you the real story behind coins like these. So if you're an investor, collector, buyer, or seller who's serious about knowing what actually matters, this is the channel for you. Because in numismatics, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. Everyone's seen those videos claiming a Wisconsin state quarter is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But here's the real story. Some say one quarter could buy you a house. Others insist it's sitting in your change right now, just waiting to make you rich overnight. But before you start digging through every coin jar you own, let's slow down and separate the truth from the hype. Because yes, there is something unusual about certain Wisconsin quarters, but the reality is far more fascinating and far more valuable to serious collectors than most viral videos ever explain. The Wisconsin quarter was released in 2004 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Like all state quarters, it features George Washington on the obverse. But the reverse design is what stands out: a cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn. At first glance, it looks like a straightforward tribute to Wisconsin's dairy and agriculture. But in 2005, collectors started noticing something strange on some coins. The ear of corn had an extra leaf, and sometimes that leaf was angled differently. These varieties became known as the extra leaf high and extra leaf low errors. They weren't officially acknowledged by the mint, but the story is that they happened due to die gouges, unintentional marks or scrapes on the coin die that made it look like there was another leaf on the corn. What makes them especially intriguing is that these coins were only found in quarters struck at the Denver Mint. That instantly turned the hunt into a frenzy, because only a fraction of the millions of Wisconsin quarters had these varieties. Now let's be clear, just having a Wisconsin quarter in your pocket doesn't mean you've hit the jackpot. Condition is king in numismatics, and collectors pay the most for coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. That's why two coins with the exact same variety can sell for vastly different amounts. One might only bring in a modest price, while another, graded by a professional service at a high mint state level, could fetch a much higher amount. The extra leaf high variety shows the added leaf, pointing upward toward the top of the corn husk. The extra leaf low variety shows the added leaf pointing downward toward the bottom. Neither version is more valuable in an absolute sense. It all comes down to how many were found in top condition, and how many collectors are looking to add that version to their sets at the time. One detail you won't hear in clickbait videos is how these coins actually move through the market. They're most often sold at coin shows and dealer inventories, or through reputable auction houses, not in gas station change. The big money examples are usually graded and slabbed, which means they've been authenticated and given a condition score by experts at services like PCGS or NGC. That grading process adds credibility and makes collectors willing to pay top dollar. And here's something else to consider. While the extra leaf errors get all the attention, the regular Wisconsin quarters, both from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, still have a place in collections, especially in high mint state grades. Many collectors try to assemble full sets of the 50 State Quarters series in the highest quality possible, so a flawless Wisconsin quarter, even without an error, can still hold solid value. The mintage numbers tell another part of the story. In 2004, the Denver Mint produced over 226 million Wisconsin quarters, and the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 226 million as well. That means the odds of randomly pulling an error variety from circulation today are incredibly slim, because not only were the error coins a tiny fraction of that total, but most of the surviving examples have already been pulled out by collectors years ago. Still, the hunt remains a big part of the appeal. There's something thrilling about searching your pocket change or bank rolls, even knowing the odds are long. And for many collectors, finding a Wisconsin extra leaf quarter isn't just about the money. It's about owning a piece of modern numismatic history, a coin that tells a story about the U.S. Mint, about errors, and about how quickly a small variation can set the collecting world buzzing. At Rare Coins, we focus on these deeper details because the truth is, knowledge is far more valuable than hype. If you understand how errors happen, how they're distributed, and what really drives collector demand, you'll make smarter decisions whether you're buying, selling, or simply building your own collection. So the next time you hear someone claim their Wisconsin quarter is worth life-changing money, you'll know the real factors that decide a coin's value. Yes, the extra leaf varieties are desirable, and yes, top condition examples can sell for impressive amounts. But the true worth of any coin, error or not, depends on rarity, condition, and collector demand. If you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you want to stay ahead of the myths and learn what actually matters, you're in the right place. This is Rare Coins, and our mission is to bring you real, authentic coin knowledge. No hype, no clickbait, just the facts that make you a better collector.